Okay, John. We're studying the crabs on the local beaches, right?
Yep.
And we've got this form to fill in. So, our idea is that we find out if there's any impact from people using the beach.
And the rubbish they leave.
And there's other rubbish too, like from passing boats.
Oh, right. So our experimental hypothesis is that people's use of the beach impacts on the crabs living in the sand.
To include everything, we probably need to write down human activity.
Fair enough. I agree. Okay, so what are we including as our variables? Of course, the first one has to be the overall number of visitors to the beach, right?
Yeah. On the form I'll call that visitor numbers.
Okay. And then another one is time of day.
Yeah. I think Mr. Ben said we need to look at the beach when it's busy in the daytime, when people are running around. Those four-wheel bikes are charging up and down, so the noise levels are really high.
Yeah. And again at night when it's quiet.
Okay, fine. And I was wondering...
What?
What if some of the rubbish and food that people leave round is actually tasty for the crabs?
Good thinking. So another variable is whether people actually feed the crabs without meaning to. How can we phrase that? People feeding the crabs?
No, that won't do. They're not doing it on purpose. How about, food left on the beach?
Yes, okay, but can we make that shorter? How about edible rubbish?
Yes, good. So we need to have several beaches, don't we? You know, at least one that's hard for people to get to, that has almost no rubbish, and others with more visitors.
Yes, that's right. Though, of course, there'll still be floating stuff from the sea on all the beaches and pollution from the passing boats, won't there?
True. I guess we have to take those as constants.
Well, we have 3 beaches to work with. The first one is the busy beach right in the town alongside the promenade. That'll be perfect for the high-use one.
Right.
Then there's the little bay around the corner that you can only reach on foot by going over the hill. So I guess not so many people visit that one.
No, but some do. It's quite popular in summer for picnics.
Yeah, so it gets a little use, but not that much.
And do we have one where no one goes, as a control?
Well, Mr. Ben has asked a farmer to let us go across his land to another one the public never gets to.
Ah, right, I remember. It's called Sandy Point, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so what's our experimental method? How are we going to judge if the crabs are affected or not? And how can we measure 3 beaches with 2 observers?
Don't worry about that. My younger brother will help us out. He's really keen. So we'll need to count the crabs, or at least their holes in the sand, during a particular time period. Count how many we see.
Yeah, okay. So we need to be precise about the time. And surely we need to choose a specific part of the beach to measure.
Yeah, that's right. So we need things to measure the time and the area with, right? What else do we need to think about?
Well, to compare the beaches properly, we'll need to visit them all first, won't we? To see the lay of the land. Because we also need to set the identical distance from the actual water's edge for each beach. And of course that will change as the tide goes in and out. Let's see. We'll need measuring tapes and string and little posts to mark the area. Shall we say 2 square meters, 3 or maybe 4 meters from the water's edge? That should give us some leeway with the tide coming in.
And to do it properly, we'll each have to be in position at the same time, so we'll all need mobile phones to synchronize the observation periods and stopwatches to time the observation precisely.
So, one more question. How are we going to see them at night? And will we need to count holes again in the dark? That's 2 questions. Sorry.
Yes, well, we will need to count again each time. The holes come and go, apparently, as the crabs are quite mobile. They steal each other's homes too, so if a larger intruder comes along, the previous owner digs himself another hole. As for the night vision problem, the department's got goggles for that. So what else?
Well, we need to think about timing, don't we? Do we sit for an hour? Or 2 hours at a time?
Let's say an hour for starters. Remember, we have to do this again after dusk. I've read that most crabs are nocturnal anyway.
Yeah, so how many times do we need to repeat all this? For 2 weeks, do you reckon? Or longer?
Well, that's 28 hours total observation time. That'll make it harder for doing the stats, won't it?
Yeah, that's true. So, how about we go for a fortnight, adding up to 20 hours in total? That'll allow for any bad weather.
Yeah, sounds fine to me.